Midjourney has been touted as the best image generator for quite some time now. But as the world is coming into 2024, it has had a lot more image generators around us. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to show you 10 different image generators and I'm going to test it through with one single prompt across all of them. So without further ado, let's get into all of the image generators. So first up, we obviously have Dalle 3. But Dalle 3 is embedded inside ChatGPT Plus. This is only accessible if you have a ChatGPT Plus account. Now, the way you can access this, apart from obviously going through GPT-4, is if you go to the GPTs and if you search for Dalle 3, you can actually search for Dalle, and then we're going to just click on Dalle. And then I'm going to have my prompt. This is going to be the prompt that I'm going to be using across all the different platforms, and then we're going to see how it works. So Dalle 3 is embedded inside GPTs and the ChatGPT, and it gives us a really good coherence and a lot of good images. However, it still struggles with text. But if you're looking for an alternative for ChatGPT, this could definitely be something. I mean, the image, if you can look over here, is so beautiful. Dalle sometimes gives you one or two, depending on the image. It can give you one or two images. But unlike Midjourney, because this is under a bot, so the thing that can be easily understandable is that you can just type in whatever you want. There doesn't need to be any specific kind of format for it to be able to create a specific kind of an image. So if you wanted to have it like a horizontal image or a vertical image, whatever it is, it can do it because it is exactly just ChatGPT, but embedded with Dalle. However, the only caveat is you would have to have an account, obviously, and it would have to be a paid account because the use of GPT-4 and the ability to be able to use even on the ChatGPT-4 is only available in ChatGPT Plus. So that is the first one. Moving on, the next platform is gonna be by far PlaygroundAI. Well, all of these platforms do have a specific payment. However, if we go over the pricing, you can see that PlaygroundAI from the get-go gives us 500 images. Now, if we had to compare it with Midjourney, Midjourney gives you only 25 images or even lesser, but it's 25 images. And then after that, you have to pay. But here it's like 500 images per day and use images commercially. That's also a huge thing. For the Midjourney one, if you're doing it for free, one, you can only do 25 images, and two, it's not exactly for free. Commercially, you're not liable with those images. So those are not exactly your images unless you're paying for it. And then obviously you do have a monthly and a turbo, but we can also create for free. And then again, just for a quick reference, we're going to take that same prompt that I did in ChatGPT. Again, the thing with Playground as well as ChatGPT is that you would have to click on and create an account. So for this one, I'm just going to go ahead and click and make an account with my Google account. So you just go in and sign in with Google. And then what would happen is you have a lot of the features that you have with Midjourney, and then you have some. So you also have something known as version 2.5 here. So it's our newest model, it's saying here. And if I put a prompt over here, and then it's saying expand. Now this is something that's very interesting that Midjourney does not seem to have, which is use AI to improve short prompts and get new image style ideas. So if you don't have any ideas, you can actually elaborate on that. And that is something that is really nice. I mean, ChatGPT with Dalle can anyways do that because it's kind of a chatbot in its own, but I don't think Midjourney can do that. And you can obviously add a custom other bunch of things over here, whether you want to do it using stable diffusion or realism. For the purposes of this one, I'm just going to keep it super simple and I'm just going to keep it none. Again, I'm going to deep dive on each and every single one of these models so that we can go into it in future videos, but I'm just doing a grand overview on each of them so you can get an idea. And then we have different models on over here on the side, and we have different dimensions. I'm going to go 512 by 512, and I'm going to do fast. Number of images. So they give us an option up to 4, because I'm guessing if you have to do this one, you would have to be a Plus member. So let's just keep it to 4, and we can obviously do a private session, but I'm going to keep this open here for now. And then you obviously have image to image, and you have control traits if you wanted to also do that. And you have also negative prompts. There are some negative prompts here, so that's automatically, I have added those. And now I'm going to click on generate. And the best part is, which is another good thing. I mean, ChatGPT also has it in a good way, is that ChatGPT has unlimited number of images that you can actually render with Dalle 3. And with this one, you have like 500 images. So the counter is right below over here. So you can actually see how many you're going to use for 24 hours. That's a huge number if you want to just like keep practicing. Now let's go ahead and click on generate. From the get-go, we saw that there was an issue with the queue. So upon going on the top, I did change it to Stable Diffusion XL, and then I clicked on the generate. And as you can see, I have 1 out of 500, and you can see this cute image over here. So this is a super cute image, as opposed to the image that we have with the Dalle image. So this is the one made by Dalle. This is more photorealistic. Again, I haven't given any specific parameters. I literally just used the same prompt, but with Dalle 3, they tend to be more photorealistic as opposed to illustrative, unless you're specifying that. So here it's automatically doing that. Now I'm kind of curious if we do Playground's version 2.5. And then once we do that, I just created one image just to see how it looks. Again, you can see that this has another very cute aspect to it. But also it's a good idea to note that if you want to just try for free, you have 500 of these. So you can actually do every single day up to 500 on Playground. Now, moving on, the next one, again, it's similar, but it's by Microsoft's Copilot. They both still run the same, Dalle 3. One is under GPT Plus, but for this one, you can literally just go and you can create for yourself. You would need a Microsoft account for this, but other than that, it is free of cost. You don't need anything else for this specific one. This too runs on Dalle 3. So if you have a Microsoft account, you just sign into your Microsoft account, and this one gives you. So you can see the results on this one completely for free of cost. And they do have a daily cap, but you can also see that it is mentioned that it's by Dalle 3 and it has the designer logo. So this is by Microsoft's designer. Again, I'm going to put links to all of the different platforms that I'm mentioning over here down in the description. You can have a look at each of them. Most of them that I've mentioned so far have an almost free option, except for the ChatGPT Plus one, which you had to have a ChatGPT Plus account for that. This one is free. The Playground AI is also free. You can have free 500 images per day. So you could take a look into that, and you can see that also runs on Stability XL, and it can Stable Diffusion XL, and you can also make some photographic things with that. With this one, you can see, as opposed to ChatGPT's version, even though they're running the same exact model of Dalle 3, the interpretation is still a lot more different, but they do have a cute little type going on here, so that's nice. And they have like a very nice representation here. They have also a nice type that's going on, so a little more improvement. So that is Copilot and Microsoft Designer. Now this one I feel like is one of the most versatile, even though it has quite a bit of limitations for free. But if you do upgrade, you can get quite a lot of things. If you click under select models, you can see that they have this SDXL, Stable Diffusion 1.5, Stable Diffusion 2.1, and then you can also upgrade and you can get a bunch of other models. They can also do LoRa's, so you can actually create like AI influencers. I'm going to make a video about that, so do stick around to this channel so you can learn about how to create your AI influencers, speaking about which. But in this specific one, if you don't want to go through all of those jargons and confusing coding, you can actually directly import your LoRa's here, and you can do that. However, that would all require a pro or a basic plan. But with free, from the get-go, you can actually use these. And again, we are going to be testing out to see what can it give us. For this one, you do not even need any account. You don't need a Google account. You don't need a Microsoft account. You don't need an Apple account. You don't need any account to just have an image. So if you wanted to just check it out and just wanted to see what it looks like, you don't need any account. Just put your prompt, and I'm going to go on settings, and I'm just going to keep it super simple. So I'm going to go medium, and let's just keep everything else as the same. Number of images, we cannot add number of images here because no matter what, so we have to keep it to 1. And at that rate, we're going to go and do. So now it's generating the image. You can see that we got our model image, and you can see what it is working on. So it's working on SDXL, Stable Diffusion's SDXL, and it's 7.5 guidance scale. These are pre-selected for us. Again, you cannot do any of these kind of features. If you want to do those features, you would obviously need either having to do with a login, or you would need to just basically create an account or pay for stuff. But right from the get-go, you could actually have this, and then you can just download this for yourself. And then you can also see what it's being used and how many steps have been done. And they also have the seed number. So if you wanted to do like stuff like control it and stuff, you can again definitely make use of this. But this is really good if you want to just like play around and check what kind of images you want to make. Anyways, now we're gonna go to the next one. That is by Google. So this is by Google, but if we had to see it, I'm going to show you here. So if we go to Google, the way you would search for this is Google's AI Kitchen. And then the first link. I'm going to have all the links down in the description below for you to check it out. Also, I'm going to have each of these models or each of these different image generators timestamps, so you can actually check out each of these timestamps and each of the different models and see which one you feel is more interesting for you. Now let's look at the test kitchen. So under here, if you go right on the top over here, you're going to see something known as an image FX. Now this is Google's image generator. They do have one in Gemini, but yeah, let's not talk about that because you know what happened. I mean, seriously. Yeah. So that's why the image FX is the one that we are going to be putting up. And again, the only thing you would require for this is a Google account. You would need to be signed into your Google account. And then again, I'm going to have my prompt that I have been using. I'm going to also have the prompt down in the comments in the description below. So you can also check out the prompt and you can also play around with this prompt if you want. I have a very good description. I also have like a text in the prompt. If any of the image generators can actually create those texts, so far I've seen and none of them have actually even considered those texts, but they've used it as an incorporation. However, we're not looking into that. Now, with regards to image effects, you can see they have different systems in the bottom. So you have photorealistic, it adds that. It gives me a bunch of different like words that I wanted to add, but I don't want to add that. Then it also says minimal. Maybe I want to make it more detailed. Then 35 millimeter, maybe let's do digital photograph. And then I'm going to click on settings. Under the settings, you have like just the seed. And then let's just go for it. Now, one thing I've noticed is my prompt automatically it's started highlighting a couple of different things and it's giving me just like a bunch of different opinions. Obviously the text is a complete garbage, but the image kind of looks nice. One small was still kind of showing up per but the rest is obviously not there. The images are not that great with image effects. However, again, this is for free, so you can definitely make use of this. So this is a free one by Google's image effects and you can 100% make use of this. Moving on, I'm going to take you to Dream AI by Wombo. This one, I'm directly showing you the product page, the price page. You can see it's $9 per month, or you could have a lifetime one-time payment of 160. That's kind of a bargain because Midjourney, if you notice, Midjourney's highest monthly is $120 per month for 60 hours of generation. Sure, Midjourney is considered the best so far, but these are the other options. And with this one, what you could do is you can actually still generate one image for free. So for each of these image generators, the thing that I'm trying to look for so that it's easiest for you is that how much of it I don't have to pay for. With ChatGPT, you do have to pay, but with this one, you don't have to pay if you just have to generate one image. So let's take a prompt style. So let's do, let's just take this one here and create. And then they also have an app, as you can clearly see. So they're clearly endorsing the app. And this is a really quick generation. They do not let you have the other ones, obviously. So that's for the premium if you want to have that. However, if you wanted to just use this image, you can. It's super cute. Again, they don't do any type-based work, so no typography over here. But again, this is another platform that obviously you will need to have an account. So it's going to be a Google account or a Discord account, so you would need that account, but it's still free to use. Now the seventh one that we have is Leonardo. This has been making quite some wave in the market, and you can see that you can actually create not just images, but you can do a bunch of different things. Like you can do canvas editor, real-time canvas, real-time generation, motion, image generation. However, they do have free but 150 daily tokens, and they don't have any relaxed rate for images and a lot of restrictions, but you can still do 150 daily token images. So I have 150. Let's try to create a new image. So I'm going to create a new image with our existing prompt. And I'm going to do 512 by 512. And I'm going to just... So for one prompt, you are basically burning 8 tokens. So it's not exactly that many number of images. but you are actually burning much more. So immediately from the total number that I was looking at, which is 150, I've already reduced to 142, as you can see over there. But that being said, these are the images for this one. I feel like this is the weakest just out of the bat. You would have to do a fine tuning. But again, if you want to just try it out, like if you want to just try out stuff and if you have no idea what AI is all about and if you're just like checking stuff, these are some really good options that you could check out for. And they do have free options. So it's not just Midjourney that you want to have to look at. So we have Meta. Obviously, you would need to sign in to your account. It would either be Facebook or Instagram or your email. Once you're in, then you can sign in and you can create. You can already see they have prompts and they have like an indicator. So I'm going to put the same exact prompt that I have been putting so far, and I'm going to click on generate. Now for Meta, they don't actually have any kind of pricing. So as long as you just have an account, it just works. This is the only one that is still trying to have an text over there. Now the best part about Meta is that they have this kind of a small watermark to indicate that it is made by an AI, because there is such a conversation about it. But yeah, so Meta AI, if you want to try it out, that is also for free. You can check that out as well. Now we're going to go for the next one, which is going to be Adobe's Firefly. Adobe's Firefly, you would need an Adobe account. Other than that, it is free of cost. So if you have an Adobe account, you should sign in today and you must try this out, because last year when I tried the Adobe Firefly, by the way, if you want to check out the initial Adobe, like how that was, my Firefly's reactions and everything, that how I did that and what it felt about it, please do check out this video over here. It's going to show you about the very initial reactions that I had about Adobe's Firefly 1. And you can see over here, this was the Firefly 1 and they say that the Firefly 2 is this one. And it looks way better apparently. So which is why you should want to try it out. And apparently they also are pretty big on text. So let's see if it kind of works out. So I'm going to generate this and I'm just going to keep everything super simple. So I'm not changing most of the variations except for the new image that they have. Yeah, so we can see that the images of the cats are over here with the Adobe Firefly. That is what we are getting with this. Again, for this one, you do not have to worry about being under any kind of payment unless you are paying for the Adobe services, because it is included, but otherwise you're not paying for anything extra. So you can actually use this to make some kind of AI art for yourself. And then we have the next one, which is going to be by Limewire. This one is Blue Willow, but it's by the company Limewire. Now, if you've been on the internet for long enough, you probably know where Limewire comes from. Sure, yeah, it's exactly that same company, but they've evolved now and they've made their whole service based on AI. So with the free version, you essentially can get up to 10 credits. Free one, it's not as much. It's not as much as opposed to some other ones that we've seen previously. We have 20 images, we have 4 audios, and 50% revenue share. So with that all said, let's just put this, and I don't want to put any negative prompts, and I'm going to keep high, and the number of images, I'm going to keep it as 2, and then generate. We can finally see 2 images. So we have like 2 images over here if I just expand them. So you have this image, and then you have the other image over here. So that is what you could get with free for Limewire. You're using the Blue Willow. Again, you can use a bunch of different image platforms. So if you are to pay, you can get Dalle 3 in here directly. So you could also check it out if you want that. But for now, I just did Blue Willow. So that's a completely different engine for trying your images. Again, these are all the free features that I'm trying to show for most of the image generators. Now, the last one that I have is gonna be probably the one of my most recent favorite ones, which is Ideogram. Ideogram, I think by far is the best, in even though it might not be in terms of price wise, but it is for one specific reason in my opinion, and it is because of this. Do you see what I'm talking about? The type. None of the other ones so far we've discussed or we've seen so far actually have that. In fact, if you are interested in seeing more about this, there is a video about Ideogram that I just made. You can actually have a look into that and you can see why Ideogram is so amazing. It's a lot about basically about the type. But in any case, the most important thing that you would notice is they give you 25 prompts. So if you look at the subscription plan that they have going on, it's like For the monthly, they have $8 and it's free up to 100 images per day. You don't have private generations and you can't do image uploads or ideogram editors, or you cannot download it in an original quality. But apart from those caveats, you do have like 100 images to just try out in the public. However, we do not restrict your rights in your output, and they are usage for our own rights. So even if you're for free, we hold the rights to our images. That's something really huge, which is why I feel like Ideogram is one of the best ones in my opinion, because they kind of create beautiful typography, interact with reality. You can actually read the type and it's not just gibberish. We are offline, don't panic, look around, interact with reality. That's just beautiful. Anyways, we're going to try our prompt over here and we're going to just generate this. And I'm going to press on typography. Apart from this one, nobody else has made the claims to what we are seeing here. That is the type. One small purr for cat, giant leap for feline-kind. That is just amazing. Like, the way that they're able to use the type is just phenomenal. ChatGPT was not able to do that, or Playground was not able to do that. However, Playground also has a feature which I kind of want to talk about, which is expand prompt using AI. So they also do this alongside Ideogram. And by that I mean, when you click over here and when you go on, the same exact prompt would become larger. At any rate, that sums up for the 10 best, in my opinion, AI image generators that have a free feature for you to go ahead and try. Some of them require you to have an account. Ideogram also requires you have an account, but most of them are free up to a specific number of images. And that wraps up the AI image generators countdown list. Tell me in the comments down below, which one do you think actually created a nice result or which one is not so nice? Again, I used a very generic and standard setting across the board. So if you wanted to go ahead and try it out for yourself, you could go ahead without feeling overwhelmed or without feeling overworked with all the different knobs and bits and bops for all the AI platforms. With that said, do feel free to check out this video, which YouTube thinks is a nice video for you to watch, or you could check out this playlist over here, which is a Midjourney playlist that I have, and I'm updating a lot of things about Midjourney even now. Given that we're very close to Midjourney's version 7, I'm also going to have a lot of updates about the lighting and other kinds of stuff for beginners and for everybody if you want to hear about that. And you can check out this video over here as well. And do feel free to subscribe if you really like the content over here, because again, I'm just making stuff for AI just to lessen it and not make it so overwhelming. But until then, I'm going to see you in the next video.